Hey everyone, it's Dominic from the Primetime Treasure eBay store and YouTube channel. Right now, I am literally sitting outside of a turkey farm, ready to go in and do some picking. If you're wondering why the heck I'm sitting outside of a turkey farm, it's because someone purchased an old turkey farm that's absolutely enormous in scope and basically uses it to store items that are purchased through estate sales, literally not just individual items that are picked, but this person literally goes in and buys entire estates, and then he takes it and he stores it in this old turkey farm shed and barn area. Now, I have been here before. I came here once and bought a nice big selection of DVDs, like the whole series of House, for example, very cheaply, and flipped it really well. This person is also the individual who I bought the banners for that I showed in the other haul video, the Budweiser banners. I was here last year another time, and I bought a whole collection of Spanish decanters that have done really well with. So there's no telling what you're going to find here. So often there's old military books and things. So I generally do well. It just depends on whether or not enough of the material has turned over since the last time I was here. The last time I was here was late summer, so you know, hopefully now going into spring, there's a lot more stuff. I'll turn the camera around in a moment to show you what this looks like. Okay, so this is the turkey farm area. Now you see up there that second shed back there, which is much longer. It just goes back and back and back and back. That's where the items used to be stored. Now for some reason this shed is the one that's open today, which still looks like it's big, but not quite as big as the one that I'm used to, which is the one up there. So we'll see what's in this one, maybe a little bit more condensed, and I'll put the camera on to show you what it looks like in there. But we are literally, just to show you, we are literally just in the middle of nowhere. We are out in a very rural area of upstate New York, and so hopefully we'll find some good things in there. I'm going to turn this on just a second and we'll see what we find. To give you a little bit of a sense of the size of this particular shed, the other one that I used to go to is about 10 times the size of this one, literally. But there's just stuff scattered all out on the tables. However, the prices are absolutely crazy this time. They put a sticker on everything almost, so it's a challenge to find the things that are not priced with a sticker and actually have value, the things that could have been missed. So so far I found a Boys Life magazine from 1942 that should be worth like 20 bucks, 19 bucks, and an old Scout field book that's about 15 bucks, so we'll see what that is for. Hey everyone, I'm back. That was, as I said, a shorter shed than the ones from the past. The reason being is that he still has stuff that's packed up in that longer shed, but the longer shed will be open later on during the year, he said. So we will go back to that at another time. I'll get to show you the size and scope of it. Again, it's got to be around 10 times the size of the shorter one. Now, because we're in the shorter one today, which was unexpected, he had an opportunity to go through all those items and put really high sticker prices on them, such that it was impossible to buy items that had sticker prices on them and flip them for resale. It just couldn't do it. So in that situation, such as when you're at an overpriced estate sale or an overpriced garage sale, you need to go and, with your knowledge and your research and with your eBay app, you need to look for the items that are there that you could turn around and flip for a good price that do not have sticker prices on them. That's the key. You got to find the ones without sticker prices. So I'll show you a closer view of the ones that I wound up getting. This one is a Boy Scout field book from 1948. Now, it's a later printing from 1953. When you list a book like this on eBay, what you want to do is include both dates, 1948 and 1953, because a lot of people will search for it for the 1948 year. However, they'll still buy it with the later printing. If you just put it as 1953, then you're going to miss a lot of people who would be searching for it, and you're not going to realize the value out of this. If you did that, you'd probably get around $10 out of the book, but If you list it the way I'm telling you, that this would get you around $16 easily every day on this book. So the other one was this one. I really love this one. This is actually my favorite item. This is a Boy's Life magazine. It's from 1942. It's a great year. It's got that great iconic image of the boy outside, all innocent, playing with his war airplane. There's some older guy out there who's gonna see this, and it's gonna remind him of being that boy when he was little, and he's gonna want this magazine. He might have had this magazine when he was little. He remembers it. No one else is selling it on eBay right now, and comps for this, other 1942 Boys Life magazines with different covers, sell reliably for around $18-20. So I could put this up for $24.99, $19.99, something like that, and make a good flip. Both of them are going to ship out cheaply through medium mail, so it's not going to cost a lot to send them out. How much did I spend on it? This one I spent $2 on. This one I spent $5 on. Now, I rarely ever spend $5 for books, especially softcover books, but the reason that I did it, there are two reasons. One, when you combine the price for both of them, and I already know what they're going to realize on the market, I wound up investing $7. So that's $3.50 per item. I already know I'm going to clear that easily and have plenty of room for profit on both of the books. The other reason is because I have a relationship with this person, and he has just given me incredible deals in the past that I've made a ton of profit on. So I take that into consideration too when I'm making a deal like this. I could kind of use that psychologically and say, all right, I've already made so much profit off of this person's sales that I could use that to invest it in this and flip this for a good profit. So that's why I wound up doing that, and just to kind of establish that relationship and not have him feel that every single time he sees me that I'm always going to haggle him down, because other sellers hate when you do that, if you're always constantly haggling. So especially if it's not really something that's going to wind up giving you a ton of savings. I mean, so this was a situation where it was good to do that. I wound up giving him my business card too, just kind of establish a good relationship going forwards, because I know I'm going to come back here for the bigger shed, and then in that situation, he remembers me, knows me well. He'll be more likely to give me deals again in that situation, like he has always done in the past. So for just these two items, it just made sense to do. All right, so the next thing I'm going to do, there is an older gentleman. I spoke to him on the phone yesterday. He is a longtime collector who is selling his comic books. Now, it's not a lot of them. It's around 30 or 40 of them. But he's also selling a lot of other older items, older records, older books, older toys from the 50s and 60s. I called him yesterday, spoke to him on the phone, and I'm gonna just call him back right now, and hopefully I could swing by there, and we'll see what we could get from there. Now, the reason why I didn't stop by there first, especially since he said he had comic books, is I asked him what he had, and he was not naming like the more famous kind of superhero books. He was naming things like based on TV shows like Leave It to Beaver and Wild West and Twilight Zone, and these are not comic books that are worth a lot of money. So but he does have a lot of other items there, and things that he didn't even specify in his ad, so you just never know until you show up. So we're going to stop by, see what he has, and if there's anything of value there, I'll show it to you when I get out of that location. So I'm going to call him now and head over there, and we'll see what happens. Okay, one other thing, I'm just about to go in there, and this is funny because last year I actually came to this house. I recognized it, and I saw that the person was selling the items that were in my general interest area, and I looked in his garage, and he had this amazing garage with all sorts of cool collectibles, and I asked if I could just go in there and check it out and just look at it, and he said sure, and we started talking. Now, from what I remember, some of his prices were really, really high, so I'm kind of concerned going into this that he might not be willing to sell it at a discount or a reasonable price for the purposes that I need him for, which is for reselling. So we'll see going in there. Hopefully he recognizes me, because it was just over the summer that I saw him. This, by the way, is in a great area where I have a lot of success with finding collectibles. The people in this area of Syracuse just tend to collect lots of stuff, like the sorts of things this person has: old toys, comic books, vintage paper products and stuff. So again, we'll see what happens going in, but I just want to update you that I'm walking into this knowing I've been to this place before. I've met the owner before. He's doesn't know it quite yet, and in fact I just found out. So we'll see what happens if that prior relationship helps with anything in terms of deal making. All right, here we go. All right, so it actually wasn't a bad situation when I went in there. Now, unfortunately for me, who primarily loves to deal in comic books, the comic books were as I remember them from last time. The guy had them in binders, and there were not too many of them, maybe about 30 or 40, like you said, and they were all pretty damaged and beat up, and they were all bad titles. So, things with like rips and stains and everything like that, especially for ones that are not, super old, don't really pick those up. If they're 10-cent issues, that's a different story, but these weren't. So, bottom line is that comic books were not something I wound up getting there. But he did have some other great items there that I wound up picking up, and he really did just want to get rid of them, so I really wound up making a good deal there. Let me show you some of the cool things that I got. And I've had success with these things before, although I never had ones quite this old. I did, and I still do have some left over from a lot that I purchased at a private estate pick that I did last summer. You might remember back in the day they had the Bop magazines. They were the Teeny Bopper magazines. Well, those ones from the 80s are worth a lot of money now. So if you get a nice little stack of them, you could sell them for like 60, 70, 80 bucks, something like that. So but I actually found some from the 70s, and so let me show you those right here. It's a nice stack of them, and they are in good shape. They're right here. This is the stack, and it's a magazine called Teen Star Gossip, and I'll show you some of the celebrities that are on the cover there, and you can see here that the condition of them, they are terrific. And so just one of these Teen Star Gossip magazines sold recently on eBay for $15. And so I have a whole stack of them. No one has a whole lot of them up there. You could see here some old Osmonds right there. Marie Osmond, Donny Osmond, that sort of thing. I mean, these were the heartthrobs back in the day. Robert Redford, I mean, to really throw you back. I mean, now he looks, super old. Here's some other ones right here. Vince Patton in this one. And here's another one magazine right here. So, Osmonds are on a lot of these covers, but as you could see from them, they are in good shape. And inside, in terms of the quality of the pages, they look really good. These pinups are important. People want the pinups from the magazine, so checking to make sure that they're in there is a good idea. So I'll tell you what I paid for everything here at the end, but just keep in mind there's a whole stack of them. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 of them, and they're from 1974 and 1975. So that's that. I've also told you in previous haul videos, if you ever see Mad magazines from the 80s or the 70s, to pick them up. So here's one from 1983. I have a big lot of these all ready to go, so I'm just going to add these to it. This one's 1986. So there's that. I found 2 old racing car newspapers from 1965. Now, if I just saw one of these, I probably wouldn't have picked them up, but I could lot both of these together and probably sell them for $15, $20. Then I also found some Saturday Evening Posts. I generally don't purchase these unless they're from the 40s, and so these are 3 of them from 1948. So I basically hand-picked these out of a stack with the intent of selling these as a lot together. Now this one here has sold as high as around $17, $18. There's other times where it hasn't sold, but I could guarantee you if I put 3 1948 Saturday Evening Posts together, they are going to sell. And again, you could see these are in great shape. Okay, there's no significant damage. There might be a little bit of discoloration on the back of it, but that's okay for something from 1948. Also, do not worry at all about the mailer labels that they have on them. They're very common. If you could get them without it, that's good. However, if they're on there, that's okay. That's not a big deal. And even a little bit of staining on it, like here you can see there's a stain up top. That's not going to be a problem because in general, just overall, the books are in good shape, and things from 1948, people won't, ding you too hard for a for a stain here or there, so that's all right. Now here's one I love. This is the few things that I got that were kind of comic related besides the Mad magazines. These are just some, you'll see these a lot at sales. These are old, Peanuts books, Charlie Brown books. There's, Dennis the Menace. You want them in good shape. Often you're going to find them damaged with pages ripped out, with the binding shredded. Don't get those. Get ones with a pretty nice cover and a pretty nice intact binding. I mean, it could have a little bit of color loss on the back, and that's okay. But the point of buying these is not to sell these individually. It's to get them at a cheap price, bulk them together, and then sell them out at a nice lot. One thing that I found that I really got a kick out of, because I love when, especially how much interest I've had my whole life with comic books. If I could find something I've never seen before, I like to pick it up. This is from 1962. Hanna-Barbera Augie Doggy. There you go. I've seen Augie Doggy before. I can't believe I have to say these words on tape, Augie Doggy and stuff like that. I guess it's better than saying Peekaboo Bear, right, Sheila Hamilton, if you're watching? So anyway, here we go with Augie Doggy. And this one sells reliably. Anytime this has been put up, there's been 2 of them put up in recent, in like the last 60 days, and it wound up selling for... I'm just looking over at a mailman over here who's pulling up, and I hope he doesn't tell me to move. But anyway, one of these sold recently, 2 of them sold recently for around $20 range, so that's good. All right, mailman is coming out, but looks like he's walking up the driveway and he doesn't need me to move, so that's a good thing. Okay, so so that was that. Then the other thing that I bought, which going to be probably a little bit tricky to show you. I think I'll just pull it out individually and just give you a sense. There's 30 of these, okay? These are Reader's Digest magazines. Now, Reader's Digest is generally avoid, except if you could find ones in great condition like this from the 1960s, that's terrific, because 26 of these recently sold on eBay from the 1960s range for $66 plus shipping. So I've got 30 of them. So, this is, let me see if I could just tilt this up for you so you could see what I'm talking about. I mean, they're all in here. This whole thing is all practically mint condition 1960s Reader's Digest books, okay? So how much did I get all of that for? Well, he told me to make an offer. So I made him an offer of $20. Now, some of you are going to say, well, that's a lowball offer. However, I know that he was just trying to get rid of the stuff. He made several references that he's not trying to get rich off of the items. He really just wants to get rid of it. So my job is not to overpay. So he said, okay, well, how about 25? Now, I easily could have paid 25 because when you add up all the individual items that I have here, that would have worked out to 50 cents a piece per item, and that would still be very good. However, what I advise you do in these situations, especially when you're going to have to start off a negotiation and someone throws out a number, is have an item that you kind of like, you don't have to have, but you leave it behind so that in case you get into this negotiation situation, you kind of throw it in to seal the deal. So 25 and 22, that's a hard situation to negotiate between because you can't really go in the middle and say 22.50. If he would have said 30 and then I said 20 and then you can meet in the middle of 25, but he said 25, so you can't really bridge that gap so much with money. You can't really say 22, 23. It just kind of seems weird. So I had seen on a table a mini version of Winnebago. Now, it's not in the best shape in the world, but it still should sell because it is a Tonka truck. Okay, so I said to him, I'm thinking probably get like, $20 out of this. It's light enough that it will ship first class. So I said, well, how about throw in the Winnebago and $25? He said, sure, no problem. I wasn't sure if he was going to go for it, but he did, and that's it. So every single thing here for $25. I'm very happy. I should make that $25 back with just selling one of the things that I've shown you in here. So I think I'm going to do good with this situation. And that's how I do it. This is a situation where, I had to do a little bit of research. I had to find the guy on Craigslist, go to his place, make a time to meet up, and go there and make a deal. But these situations are great if you could get into, because you could get in there ahead of everyone else. There was another guy set to come in after me after about an hour, so I want to try to beat all those people so that I could get there first, because for all I know, he's going to walk away with all that stuff. Now I've got it, and that's how it works. You know, you've got to be working hard, hustling, competitive. You know, it is kind of almost like a sport, actually. So I like that aspect to it. That's one of the reasons I like doing this. So it's fun in that respect. Making money in it in addition to it, and being able to support your family, is another thing that just adds another great bonus to it. So I may go to another sale right now. There's a garage sale going on, so I might check that one out. If not, I'll come back on just to say goodbyes, but I'm probably going to check out this other sale, so we'll see what I can find there. All right, see you at the next one. All right, everyone, as you can see, we are at the next sale. There's a garage sale, so we'll check it out, see what's in here. I don't have the best of luck in this particular city, but once in a while I do, and so you never know. So we're checking out, and let you know if I find anything. All right, actually did well. Picked out a few things. Really nice lady. McDonald's hat, vintage from back in the day. Her son used to work there. These actually are valuable. They are worth something. You know, minimum you're talking, you know, $12, but some of them go upwards to $20 or more. So you know, somewhere in that price range. So you want to make sure you source it low. Harley Davidson, love Harley Davidson. Anything with flames on it and Harley Davidson is going to be a good seller. So, and especially if you could find adjustable hats. By the way, you see how this says Velcro, has Velcro on it. Do not use the word Velcro on eBay when you're listing things. The Velcro company is very protective over that name, and they can and will get your item removed, and your selling privileges can be restricted for a week or longer. Those are called Vero items, so make sure you're aware of that. Other ones would be onesies. Also stay away from Minecraft and stay away from Otterbox. Those are some tips for you right there. Stay away from listing those words. So what I would just use for this is just adjustable strap, but not say Velcro. And then people could see from the pictures when I open it up that it is Velcro, so stay away from that term. And lastly, Kimco. You might not have heard of Kimco. It's a motorcycle company from Canada. These hats are hard to find. They've sold for, they don't show up often on eBay, but when they do, they generally sell for between $25 and $30, especially if they're in really nice condition like this and they have a nice bright color like that. So total, I got all those hats for $3. So great score. And I may or may not move on to one last sale. If not, I'll turn this on to just wrap everything up. All right, so that's going to wrap it up for today. If you like this video, please make sure you hit the like button down below. Make sure you drop a comment. More and more people are commenting, and that's great to see. I like to know the kind of things that you like that you saw. And so just, or whatever, just kind of questions or anything that you have, I do check the comments and do respond. Make sure you also look at down below in the description section and come along and join my Facebook group, the Facebook Reselling Resource Center. Lots of great tips are shared throughout the day. Lots of questions are asked. Lots of cool links are posted. So thanks for all that have joined. And all you have to do, if you're not a member yet, is just click the join button and the link, and if your profile looks good, you're in. So also real important, make sure you subscribe. The subscriber counts are going up. That's nice to see. More and more people are enjoying the content and the videos that I'm putting up. So just keep subscribing. I'll keep making good content for you, good videos, and I hope to see you back at the next one. Thanks a lot, everyone. Take care.